Hey everyone, I'm Paul Fab. I'm a singer, musician, and songwriter, and I'm gonna share with you my journey into music. Today, I'm gonna talk to you about my first album. I was working in a TV show at the time as a studio technician, and we were working with a live band, and I was also the manager, kind of the manager to the band. And this band was formed by a lot of top-notch musicians. At the time, I was already thinking about recording my music, and of course, I like bossa nova and Brazilian jazz and samba, and I said, okay, this is what I want to record. This is the music that I want to show people. And I started to write the songs, the lyrics. It was kind of a long process, and as I told you, I was working in a studio, and I'm really grateful for all of those people. The studio owner, which is my son's godfather, he was really important to me, not only at that time, but afterwards as well. And the musicians that I worked with, I learned a lot from everyday conversations and how they performed and everything. And when I had 10 songs ready, I asked Paulo, which was the studio owner, I asked him if I could use the unused hours of the studio to record my music. He said, of course. And so I did it. And then I asked the musicians, I had no money, of course. I had no money to pay them. Would you record with me at least one song? I bring the scores. I make everything as easy as possible for you. It would mean a lot to me. And they promptly said, of course I would. No problem, you don't have any money. That's okay, I will record with you. Everyone was working, making good money at the time, so that was not a concern for them. In a way, I took advantage of that moment, of course. And so they did it. They recorded, and I recorded my first album called Trying to Full Destiny. Well, this title is also a song's title, and I chose that because at the time I thought everything was against me, and I was just trying to fool my destiny, which was failing. Of course, the lyrics of the song, they don't talk about that, but it's kind of a layered message, right? You have the same message, but you have layers. And even though the song talked about love, relationships, the title of the album was chosen because of that. I thought I was trying to fool my destiny. And surprisingly, I don't remember when, I don't remember how. The internet was really starting at the time. We didn't have the things that we have today. And someone just listened to my music and showed to a friend in Japan that decided to sell my CDs in Japan. And we just emailed each other at the time, and I remember sending him like a big box, a heavy big box of 500 CDs, and he complained that a lot of them arrived in Japan with broken cases. I did my best to protect them, and he decided to make a Japanese version of my album, and so he did it. And the album, even my original version and the Japanese version, it sold really well for an unknown artist like me. This album brought me two others, with a second one with the same guy and the third one with another label. But that's another story. This first album was what I believe to be the beginning of my career, that I quit a few years after because I wasn't able to perform in Japan, which was my market. One thing I didn't mention to you before is that I wrote the songs in English because I wanted to go to the American market, right? Because it's the biggest market in the world. I said, I'm gonna try to go to the United States and sell my music there. But I ended up selling well in Japan, and I could not pursue my career there, playing live and building my career there Brazilians have like a complicated way to be allowed to play in Japan, to perform in Japan. And I was all by myself. I didn't have a label, I didn't have a record company, I didn't know anyone. I was by myself. In the end, I could not perform in Japan. And that brought me really, really down because I almost got there. I had this dream of living off of music, and I almost got there. And then I gave up. I quit. And it took me 14 years to restart my career. During these long years, I worked a lot in studio, mixing audio for videos. That got me the experience to move to Canada. And when I came here, I did a lot of different things. But in the end, I decided to get back to music. And I have played a lot here with different bands, different styles. But I decided that I had to pursue my music. I don't want to quit the other music work that I have, but I need to follow what I think it is, what I have best to present people with. That's what I decided to do, and that's what I think everyone should do. Just try to find the best that you've got and just share it with the world. Just give it back to the world. We never know the results. We never know how we're gonna end up, but you just did your best. Bye bye. Have a good one. Take care.